Okay. Oh my gosh, Nathan. I do know what I'm doing, unless you're going to change it up. So,
I'm good. Can you hear me okay?
yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, cool. Well, I started cooking a lot during quarantine, and one of the first things before restaurants were kind of open again that I was kind of craving was poke. So today I'm going to show you how to make the poke by our office, their Aloha style bowl. Um, but I've already kind of pre-measured some ingredients, and I'll just kind of walk you through some of this. So the first step in making this is to make your rice. And I've already made it ahead of time, but when you're looking at rice, kind of there's multiple selections, but you definitely don't want to go with like a medium grain rice or a long grain. You want like a sushi style so that it's nice and small. Um, you'll just have a better texture to it. Not saying if you don't have it, you can't use non-sushi rice. But the key thing to do is to wash your rice. If you don't do that, it's going to get really sticky. So you can see here, this one right here is when I washed it once and it got rid of a lot of starch. The second time and then the third time, I washed it about 5 times, but you can kind of see after the third one, there's diminishing returns. But you'll notice if you don't wash your rice now that you'll have a better kind of consistency and texture to it when you make your end product. I think what else I have here is toasted white sesame seeds, freshly minced ginger, black sesame seeds, rice wine vinegar, unseasoned, tamari, because I'm gluten-free, but you can also use soy sauce, chili oil, and then toasted sesame oil. And then what I'm going to do is also add some shallot to it really quick. And then some white onion and green onion. And let's see, mise en place, supposed to show historic decathlon project. I thought that would have been more boring, as we see our.
Oh, see, I love it. And like, really, you set up this whole thing like with your camera. I mean, I wouldn't expect any less. So I'm super impressed. This is like Iron Chef quality. Thank you.
Thank you. We're watching a lot of cooking shows during quarantine too. So when I chop green onions, or the top part of it, I like to make it kind of fancy. So I cut on bias, which just means turning your knife. But I think it gives you something a little bit different in texture and the way that it looks.
I'm nervous.
Now, so when I cook, or when I cut, Michael, I cut with my fingers pulled in so that you're using your finger like as a guard, and you're not going to chop any tips off. That's happened too many times before, and then I learned how to chop without worrying about that.
He's not using a mandolin. That would make me super nervous.
I have one if somebody wants it, because I don't need it anymore. So that's all good. What I'm going to do now is put all of this in the bowl, and then I'll get the fish out. And this is just kind of my way of making it. And there's a ton of different varieties. You can also, you can mix in, if you want like spicy mayo to make it like that, you can do with just veggies. You don't have to add fish. There's a vegan one that my wife found, and I haven't tried it yet, but it's with watermelon instead of tuna. So that is going to be kind of one that we try coming up soon here. And then what I also add in at this time too is red chili flake because I like it a little bit spicy in addition to the chili oil. And then I don't add it, but what you see at restaurants is they'll add either vegetable oil or canola oil to give the dish like a little bit more texture in your mouth. So next up, this is the tuna. And you can buy it in about 3/4 pound quantities at Central Market. I think the super important part to note about if you make sushi or poke at home is raw fish. Don't just make it from what you can get behind the counter. You definitely want to look for stuff that says like sushi grade or sashimi grade, which means that it's been frozen for a few days at -20°C. If you don't do that, there's a risk for parasites to show up in your fish. So I know that Central Market, it has, they carry tuna, tilapia, and salmon grade sashimi. I think you can get other ones at Quality Seafood. I haven't tried that yet, but this, for example, is 3/4 pound. It goes for $20, so it still costs about the same as if you went and got it pre-made. But I think you can tailor the taste a little bit to yourself here. So what I also do when cutting the fish, I use a different knife. This is a Japanese knife. It's called a petty knife, but I use it for fish because it's really sharp. And the smaller that you cut it in pieces, kind of the more flavor that it's going to have once you mix it with all the sauces and everything that's in there. And sorry for the vegetarians in the room. So I'll just put that on here. Normally I'd wash my hands and stir it with a spoon, but just to speed time up here. So that's done at this point. And what I do is keep it in the fridge until the rice is ready, because sometimes I forget to make the rice first. But next what I'll do, and it's off screen here, and I apologize for that, but I'll take my rice and put it in the bowl. So I got my rice now, and then I'll just kind of plate it here. So I'll end up doing about half of this, which is equivalent to the large at Poke.
Nathan, do you have a budget estimate for this?
Yeah, it's about, it depends on if you have all the ingredients or not. If you have all the ingredients already and they're kind of with you, it's probably around $10 a serving. If you do it without tuna, it's going to be way cheaper because everything that I have, everything that I have ingredients wise is super cheap. And you can get it all at Central Market, 99 Ranch, or H Mart. One thing I forgot to point out was when I make the rice, this was a trick that I got from the sushi chef at Lucky Robot, but is to add kombu into your rice, because that will give it a seaweed flavor, and then also a little bit of salt, sugar, and then mirin, which is like a sweetened sake. And I'll send you guys the recipe. But at this point, I'm just going to top it with some stuff. The first is Togarashi, which is like a chili powder with some sesame seeds. Like I said, I like the spice. I'll do a little bit more black sesame seeds. And then lastly, this is called Furikake, This one that I have is a blend of seaweed, chili flakes, bonito flakes, and then sesame seeds. And that's it. So I'm going to eat that after we're done with this.
This is so brutal. I'm starving. Like, that looks amazing. So from now on, everyone has to make 50 sample containers and for pickup available.
Well, I'll show you. I get a little crazy with like, when we
That
started.
was beautiful, by the way.
We started doing this and like.
It's okay. The Austin studio is just drunk. Don't worry about them.
But yeah, that's it. And yes, let's see. Let's scroll through knife form. Kaylin, you want the mandolin? It's yours.
Thank you. Yes, please.
H
Don't
Mart.
slice your fingers off.
H Mart is up near Cedar Park. So if you take Mopac all the way north to the last free exit, and then you go like another mile on the frontage road, there's H Mart there, and they also have like a food court, Asian bakery. My Christmas list surprisingly ended up looking mostly for video games, not kitchen equipment. And yeah, any other questions?
Looks awesome, Nathan. It looks
Yeah.
super right now.
Well, I tried to keep it short so that everyone can kind of get out of here and go pick up a pizzeria if they need to. But that's all I have.
We're also
Awesome.
coming over there to get that second portion.
Yep.
Yeah, did you put your address in the chat?
Some people know where it is. If you, all right. Well, thank you guys, and Maya, I guess I'll turn it over to you unless you took off already. Oh, there you
Oh,
are.
I'm here. No, very well done, sir. That was awesome. Yeah, like I said, now fried chicken somehow seems like lesser. I don't know. I want poke. So
I like doing this at lunch during the week because like I can prep it like the night before and have it for lunch, and it takes like 10 minutes. So
Yeah.
it's pretty awesome. Well, good. You guys, I'm loving this. I don't know. Beth isn't here this week.